Good evening, folks. Welcome to the channel. Keith here from Commander Hoop Celtic with Gary from Celtic Appreciation Page. We're streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter tonight. So we have a good bit to talk about. Mikey Owens will be joining us later into the show. We're going to talk about obviously the Ross County game, the rumours about the board, and the big game on Thursday, our opening group game as well in Europe, in the Europa League. So guys, let's kick it off. Obviously, we had a couple of debuts the weekend. We had Jota playing. Cameron Vickers played quite well. What do you think of the results? You said 3-0.
Do you know what I did? And I'm actually raging because I did say 0-0 with this Hearts and Hibs game on Sunday. Just a shame I never put any money on it. But no, listen, it was a good performance. It was difficult circumstances. Undoubtedly, we losing Kyogo to injury, the whole Dom Mackay situation 24 hours before. I don't really think it affected the players. I don't think the Dom Mackay situation affected the players. I think maybe no having the wee man up top or out wide, I think that maybe affected the team slightly in the first half, but you kind of knew the goal was going to eventually, and I think when the first goal came, then it was kind of easy street for us. Then obviously, I mean, I still can't believe that I think Sky Sports actually gave Carter Vickers a goal as well. Very surprised. I mean, it wasn't just a wee nick. Do you know what I mean? It was a massive deflection. But listen, I was delighted for him to get his first goal for the club. You know, I thought he played really, really well. And finally, Albion Yeti turns up in a.
That's it. Well, I have to say, he looked like a good unit at the back with Starfelt. Very comfortable with the ball, even bring the ball up. You know, it was obviously a stalemate first half. We had a couple of chances. Jota, I thought, played really well for us. You know, obviously a cross and fast feet out, but it's just, look, you can't expect debut players to all score, you know, the first time around. But I think he's gonna be a good player this season for us, Jota. I hope he shows up for the big games. But Cameron Vickers, like, I didn't think he was going to get thrown into the mix. I thought Welch would have been cemented in there, but obviously Ange was like, you know what, Joe Hart's at the time at Tottenham, put him in the mix, and he looked quite comfortable at the back. Yeti, two goals for Albion.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, obviously 2 goals, and you know, it was great that he took them so well, with the head and all the rest. It threw himself at the ball, and that's what you want to see at your striker. But I think it was a stat last night that I seen. He had 15 touches in the whole game.
Jesus.
15 touches in the whole game. Now, obviously, listen, when you're scoring 2 goals, I suppose that goes out the window. But you want your striker to be on the ball more. You want to get him more service. And listen, I think, as you say, Jota, it would have been nice for him to have got on the score sheet on Saturday. But listen, he looks an exciting player. He's no a player that I know that much about before he came here.
I think a lot of Celtic fans are in that boat unless you're like a Portuguese Celtic fan that watches Benfica, you know.
But I think it's good. It's good options down the left that he can play there. He can switch with Kyogo if obviously Georgios, you know, is up to scratch soon. Hopefully, I was surprised not to see Liam Scales anywhere in the squad, because when I looked at the bench, I thought, by God, I hope this starting lineup sorts the game out quickly, because there's nobody.
I was thinking the same.
There's
literally
nobody in that bench to
there was
win
no
the game.
ammunition on that bench.
No, I think it was something like Shaw, Urigidi, Montgomery, Bain. I can't remember. It wasn't even a lot of players on the bench. It looked like
it was a bench that you know that you're going to put out if you're trying to get a nil or draw away. I
think I said I don't know if I said on Friday, how have we signed 11 players in this transfer window and seem to look weaker on Saturday than we did 2 weeks ago? I know obviously you're missing Edward and Ryan Christie and things like that, but and Kyogo, but you know, you're just like, we looked so depleted. Obviously we got the result and it was a comfortable win. But in terms of
second half,
we're going to touch on Livingston later on. Obviously the Livingston game, and I don't know how that game's going to go, because we can't seem to get a win at the Tony Macaroni. So
last time we went to the Macaroni, it was a snowy night. Beaton scored for us and Brown came off the bench. He got sent off. That was a season we all want to forget about. But yeah, it was a good second half of football. I thought Turnbull played outstanding for us. Obviously Cal came off. Rogers got the captaincy. Looked weird with the captain armband on, and then Hart pulled off that cracking save as well. That was a crucial part of the game.
Yeah, it was a big save at the time because we just seemed to be switching off a wee bit.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Hart does what Joe Hart does, and it was a great save. Apart from that, he didn't really have a lot to do, in my opinion. And listen, he's going to find that, I think, as a Celtic number one, where teams are going to come to Celtic Park, like St Mirren, like Dundee, and he's not going to have a lot to do. So he's going to need to get used to that, but also remain switched on for when he does need to be called upon, and he came up trumps, obviously, on Saturday for us.
He was very sweet for keeping the first half, I thought, when we had a lot of the ball in their half. Like, second half, he wasn't too bad. I think when we got the second goal, he kind of just sat back and was like, look, everything's there. We're going to go to Mr. Rory Clarkson of the Rebel podcast. Still in shock about Dom. Very strange things going on. He brought Ange in, mastermind the 12 summer signings, but now he's gone. What happens now? I thought we were finally starting to see something good happening in the club from the board and the manager. It is a strange situation, guys, isn't it, with the whole Dom situation and him appointing Ange, which we talked about on Friday, and he's recruiting these players and he's gone.
I mean, I think he had, from obviously reports that I'm hearing over the weekend, I think he had a massive, massive plan for Celtic, and it was going to be a 10-year plan. He really had a vision for the club. Obviously, rumours that he had arguments with and disagreements with the hierarchy, with Dermot Desmond, and they weren't happy with him in terms of, I don't know if he went over their heads in terms of made decisions about players. I'm hearing stories about the Juranovic deal. Supposedly Celtic were going to pull out, and I think it was Don Mackay that basically sanctioned the deal. Says, right, we'll get him in just to kind of keep on side with Ange. I also got sent an audio kind of shot of a former Celtic player telling his mate all about what really happened. The player's denying, or the ex-player rather, is denying that it's him in the clip, and there's no way to decide whether it is him or not. It sounds like him, but listen, until you've got a video clip of him actually saying that, it's all hearsay again kind of thing. But it's just you genuinely don't know what's happening at that club now. I don't know why they're trying to derail this season already. It seems like that way.
It's not even this season, guys. It's moving the club forward as modern, branding the club in a better way, a more futuristic way. Like you were saying about Don McCoy, when he done the press conference with Ange, he said he had a plan, like a long-term plan for Celtic, and it sounded like it was like a 5-year plan for them to obviously get the league back, boost revenue, get into the Champions League, be successful, build this hotel. And you were just saying about Barrowfield before we came on air as well. Barrowfield's getting a new look. Yeah,
it's getting a bit of a makeover kind of thing with a new gym, new changing rooms, a media room. I mean, I don't know what they're going to kind of get, if they're going to use that primarily rather than Lennoxtown. I don't know, but it'll obviously be a lot closer to the ground than Lennoxtown. So that's obviously something the club are looking at. They've been given the green light, so they are going ahead despite Dom's departure. But it's incredible to think that I think everybody really was so excited about this season. And listen, we can still be excited about it because it's the CEO, it's not the manager, it's not the players. So in terms of it might not affect us in the actual playing field, but at the end of the day, it's just the uncertainty of it all that we don't have a CEO now, or an official one kind of thing, and we need to try and find the right guy to come in and fix this.
That's it. Like as I say, we have big season ahead. We're doing well so far. Home form, we're doing well. We have a big game on Thursday night, a 6:15 kickoff over in Seville. The place you want to go back to, Gaz?
Yeah, I've always said I'm going to go back. I was there 2003. Wasn't at the game, but what an amazing place to be. I've always said I'm going to go back, and I would have loved to have this game to have been further away, because I would have, despite obviously the fact that we weren't allowed tickets in the end, I'd just love to go back and see the place and see what it's like again. Because I think when you're there, at that time, obviously UEFA Cup final, especially 16 years old, you're showing my age here, but
getting that wheelchair out, guys.
I know, getting the bus pass out, mate. No, when you're there, everything goes over your head because you're thinking, oh my God, we're in a European final. You never thought you'd see it in your lifetime, and it just kind of bypassed me. So I would love to go back, but it looks a phenomenal stadium. I know you put up a picture earlier on of it. It looks a beautiful, beautiful arena.
60,000 seater stadium, green and white, sexy. You know, like Seville, 3 cracking stadiums. Obviously, they have the Olympic Stadium where we played the UEFA Cup final. They have obviously the Sevilla Stadium where the actual final is going to be this year.
Yeah.
Well, this season. And we have Betis. Look, at Betis are not going to be a pushover. They're a good side. Pellegrini's a good manager. You know, Joaquin's still playing. He's still not kicking around for them as well. Chap's a legend, an absolute legend, servant of a player. But they done well last season. I think they finished 8th in La Liga.
Yeah, I mean, they had a good side. They've got good players. I know I was listening to Hector Bellerin tonight trying to start the mind games. He's saying that we're under pressure after losing to Rangers. If anybody's under pressure, they're under pressure. They've not won this season yet in 4 games. So they're under pressure as much as we are.
Yeah, well, I'd say they'll probably have a full house for it as well. Like, I know we're not having any fans. Mick, welcome in. You'll be gutted that there's no fans going to be in on Thursday, Celtic fans wise.
Look, come here. It's nothing that Betis could do. In fairness to them, like they did try their best. So look, it's just one of those things we kind of have to live with at the moment, isn't it? Like, there's no even point in arguing about it. It's not their choice. In fairness to them, so
that's it. And regards to the starting lineup, guys, would you stay with Joe Hart?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Right back, Mick. Where are we going for? Are we going for Juranovic? Like, Juranovic looks quite solid the weekend against Ross County. Will you keep him in there?
Yeah, you have to keep him in there at the moment. Obviously, it's sick. Obviously for Ralston. Obviously, a bad time to get the virus and everything. But I think you have to stick with Juranovic at the moment. He did a great job the last 2 games. So I think we have to stick with him there at the moment.
Guys, your phone again, it is. I was going to say, look, regards to the bench, Mick, we were guys were talking about this the week, just literally a few minutes ago before he came on. It looked quite weak. The bench did, very defensively. The weekend, hopefully we have a bit more ammunition on the bench, especially if Betis is giving us problems.
The phone just keeps going, sorry.
Yeah. It must be Gaz's phone. Keep playing.
I love how you blame my phone. I was on my phone on Friday night on the live, and there was no interference. I'm telling you.
Yeah, because he didn't have all them pop-ups popping on. That's what it was. all them Go radios. Brilliant, Gaz. Yeah, what you get 5 out of 10? Was it?
5 out of 10. Aye.
Good stuff. We'll go back to the performance the weekend, Mick. What do you think? Was stalemate first half? Second half, we hit the ground running?
Well, the thing I had, the worry I had going into that game was obviously after the international break, and then obviously with the few little injuries and like Ralston been out, and then Kyogo been out as well, and then obviously with no Edouard, no Christie, things had to be reshuffled. So I'll take that performance all day. It was basically like a team that pitch on Saturday. So I think that was good performance, good results. Like better than what I expected. I was actually expecting a sloppy 1-0, 2-0 to be honest. But 3-0, I'll definitely take that. That was a really good performance.
Plus it's a clean sheet. And plus what I think obviously it was good to see Albion score, but I think it was more better to see the likes of Vickers and Starfelt being very comfortable. And Jovanovic was playing more of a wing back than anything else, which was great to see. You know?
Yeah, as well. Like when Welsh was dropped, Like you say, right, he's sticking with Starfelt, but then you see Starfelt is in, and Vickers, like obviously, the thing you have to be worried is he's only on loan. Is he going to be there next season? If he's not going to be there next season, you're going to have your full-time centre-back partnership, like which would be could most likely be Starfelt and Welch, because you don't know what way Julian's going to be when he comes back. We spent the money on Juranovic. He's obviously going to be in there He's probably most likely going to be the number one. And he can play on the left as well. So let's get as much game time as possible. But yeah, no, it was a very good defensive performance, I thought. And like Joe Hart as well, that save he pulled off. The header getting across. It's great to see him. He's actually pulling off them saves, you know.
Right, I'm going to talk about the left back situation now, guys. I was very surprised Taylor even got the nod because we thought that he wouldn't be in the mix. I know he obviously came off. Young Montgomery, what do you think?
I mean, I like him. Obviously, he's a young talent. He's still got a lot to learn, which I think, you know, as well as he's done against Alkmaar away, I think he's still getting caught out quite a lot. And listen, as I say, just with youth, that's always going to happen. No having so much game time under your belt. I was quite disappointed that we threw Greg Taylor in on Saturday. I didn't think we needed to against a team like Ross County. I think anybody else could have played that game. Obviously, Taylor goes off injured, and yet again it looks like a recurrence of the shoulder. I don't think he'll play now on Thursday. Whether Liam Scales now comes in for a dream debut, I can't even think if he's in the squad. I don't know if you both know.
I hope they didn't bring Bolligoli to Spain, because last time we went to Spain, we all knows what happened there.
Aye, I think Bolligoli can get himself as far away from Celtic as possible. It doesn't look like he's getting a game anytime soon. So
going Bolly off.
Exactly. But that's why I would have liked to have seen Liam Scales come in on Saturday, because I think potentially with a good debut like Carter Vickers, he could have kept his place in the team then for Thursday, or even, you know, then you stick Greg Taylor in if he's a bit more rested. But I just thought it was a bit haphazard to stick him in then.
What do you think, Mick? Would you say Montgomery start, or are we going with Scalesy?
It's kind of a tough one. Like, obviously, you know, I've seen a lot more of Scales than probably most people would have obviously been a League of Ireland fan. I think he's ready for it. I'd probably stick him in there. But Taylor is obviously going to get the nod as well. But I'd stick Scales in if I had the choice. But I still think Taylor will get the nod.
You think he'd be fair for Thursday, considering the injuries that they haven't?
Yeah, no, I think he will. I think he's going to go for experience for some reason. I have it in the back of my head that he's going to be there for it. But if not, I'd like to see Scales get in there ahead of Montgomery. As much as I hate to say that, because I do really like Montgomery as well, but we went and bought this guy for that reason, to fit in there if Taylor's not fit. So I'd like to see him get the run. And he is a very good left back, in fairness. Like, he's very, very good, very quick.
I made this point about Montgomery the other day, but I can feel something about him. I can feel him like a new Tierney coming on down the line with him. There's something there, guys. I could feel this player being a good prospect for Celtic. I don't know if I'm eating too much bleeding shite, but I just think...
I mean, it's a massive comparison to even mention Tierney in the same breath. But listen, I think he could be a good player for us. I do think he might need to go out on loan to gain some experience, because I don't see him playing every week at Celtic. I think I've always said Greg Taylor is good domestically. In Europe, he's been found out a lot of times, and I think we need somebody better. I actually think we'll go Juranovic maybe at left back, like he did at Ibrox, and play. Can you hear me, Keith?
I can hear you guys, yeah.
Right. Don't know why Keith can't hear me.
He looks like he's stalled there, to be honest.
I know. But as I say, I think if you go Juranovic even at left back, and then stick Ralston in at right back, and then you potentially then go a solution kind of thing, and then if you whether you stick Carter Vickers in, or whether you stick Welsh and Starfelt, I would suggest that Welsh was rested for this Thursday coming. I think he potentially could go in with either Starfelt or Carter Vickers.
Do you think Welsh is going to end up being the third string centre half now, or do you think Welsh will be like just took a knock maybe last week, the under-21s on international duty, or what's going on?
I think so. I think he's going to get switched to and from kind of thing. But obviously, that's the first I've really seen Carter Vickers in a full game. Had a decent game, absolute lump of a guy, so he's not going to be shy and putting himself about. But he also needs to do the simple things. Sometimes your defenders need to do the simple things. They don't. They try and think they're Barcelona and start playing it out for the back. So I think, as I say, Juranovic at left back possibly. If Taylor's not fit, then you've got Ralston right back, and I think it'll be Welsh and Starfelt.
Well, to Starfelt. Even though Carter Vickers has a bit of Europa League experience with Spurs, and you wait for Conference League experience.
I was just about to say, is a conference, not Europa League.
It's just like non-league.
So midfield, I was very surprised Tom Rodgers even played. He played very well. Very, very well.
We spoke about it on Friday with the jet lag, possibly with international duty, but I thought he did. He played really well.
Regards to you keep it with Turnbull and McGregor in the mix in the midfield. You don't change that around. Keep the way it is.
Aye, definitely.
I think so.
Mick,
yeah.
What do you make of Abada's performance the other day?
I'll be honest with you, Keith. I only seen the highlights. I was working with myself on Saturday, so I didn't get to see the full game. Seen the highlights, but from what I seen, I heard he was very, very good. People were impressed. He was still doing what he's usually doing. Maybe he's going to get caught out a little bit too easy, though. That's what happened against Rangers. I thought they did seem to suss him out very, very quickly. I'd like to know if he could actually play in the other wing, if he could switch, if that it was an option, if he could play in the left wing, just to kind of shake things up during the game, and then if it's not working, switch him back to the right wing, obviously, just to see what way he do it, because obviously Kyogo played in the wrong position that day, as we know. But I want to see if Ange's obviously up for experimenting things. I'd like to see if he could do that maybe as well. But like Abada still finding his feet. Like he settled in quickly, but was he rattled after the Rangers game? I don't know.
He got the assist the other day.
Yeah, but that's what I seen from the other day and what I heard. I heard he had a good game, so I can't really comment on how well he did Saturday. But just in going forward, like, if he got sussed out again, I'd like to see him switch him over the other side instead of taking him off, because he has that pace and he has that touch, and of course he has the cross as well. Like so.
I think when you look at it as well, sorry Keith, I think when you look at it as well, first half it was really unlucky with a couple of efforts. Second half, as you say, with the assist, but you forget he's only 19. And he's a 19-year-old boy who's came from Israel and Israeli boy rather. And I think he obviously is still finding his feet. He's the last couple of weeks he's probably not performed like we were used to when he started. He came here whirlwind start like Kyogo, and I think he really needs to. I think he'll settle in pretty quick within the next few games. I think we'll see the best of him again.
I know a lot of people might say, Jesus, this is a bit daft talk, but you got to realise when you're at that high tempo and then you're coming off with the defeat against Rangers, and then you're going to an international break, then your tempo football change. Like Israel, as far as now, they beat Austria, and then they got hammered the following game.
They beat with Denmark.
Pace of football changes round, and you're going back to Celtic as well. So I get about it. It wouldn't be a bad show putting him on the left and playing Jamesy on the right. But we have Jota there for ammunition. I wouldn't mind seeing Jota playing more central. I think like you're seeing spells in the game that you could switch him more central.
I don't think
the physicality of him.
I don't think that's what he's there for, to play central role. Like there's enough ammunition in the centre there at the moment, I think, to be honest. And I don't think Jota is going to be in that mix at all. I think he's going to be on either wing from the most of the season. So I don't think that's ever going to be a situation. Now, I could be completely wrong. Stranger things have happened. Like, see what happens if we go to Dubai again. See if he's
no, we won't be going to
Dubai. but yeah, no, I just can't see him not playing in that type of position, to be honest, that he's already in.
Sure, guys have been organising for them to go down to Ayr for the holidays, for the winter break for them. He's been doing a few phone calls today. And what do you think of this comment there? All the beers, Barkas, Bolingoni, Beaton, should all be permanently left in January. What do you think of that? That's a good show.
I think we need to try and recoup some of the money on.
I don't think we're going to get money off Beaton.
On Barkas at least. No. But in terms of the first two, obviously, what was it? $3.5 million. Beaton, obviously, I don't know how long he's still got his contract, but
1 year left.
1 year left. I don't know who would be in for him in terms of whether he'd want to go to stay at a British club or whether he would want to go abroad, kind of thing. But
I think he'd be back to Israel.
Maybe aye. But I'd definitely be looking for loan moves, Barkas and Bolingoli. I'm very surprised actually that they didn't go, to be honest. To be honest
with you, I was annoyed, Mick, that any of our keepers didn't go out when I was besides Doolin. Like we have Hart there and Barkas and Hazard.
Yeah, no, I get that as well. Like we seem to have kind of like a couple of areas in the pitch now that we've got like added kind of ammunition, or I wouldn't even say ammunition. It's like kind of like
I would say
extra weight or extra baggage more than anything. So
access weight.
But you look at it this way. Like I think Ange was kind of more concentrating on getting the players in that we need instead of actually getting rid of players. So now that he's got the players in that we needed to kind of fill a few holes, now we can actually concentrate and say, right, look, Barkas, Bolingoli, Beaton, you're gonna have to move on here, lads. There's no future for you in me plans. But at the same time, he probably had to keep them as well for the time being, because like you look at Cardiff Vickers only came in at literally the last second of the transfer window, and we could have needed Beaton there for just to fill a hole.
We could have had Cardiff Vickers 6 weeks before that. We were at the same time. Joe Hart was places.
He was looking at other places, in fairness, at the same time. He was looking at another loan move to another club, and that fell through as well. So you have to remember that. Celtic wasn't his number one target. And the same with the left-back position as well. Like, you know, he got Taylor there at Montgomery. Ange could have been like, right, we need Beaton here. Not Beaton, sorry. We need Bolingoli here just in case this goes belly up. So that's what he could have been thinking. You don't know. But now he has the opportunity to get rid of the extra baggage.
Right, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think we'll have a successful next transfer window? Do you think we'll see about like the 5 or 6 players coming in the next window? Depends on how well we're doing in the league. What do you think, guys?
It depends on who this chief executive is at Celtic Football Club. Because obviously Don Mackay, as we said before, seemed to sanction a lot of deals that maybe weren't already agreed by the board. I mean, 11 players is, as Ange even says, is far too much to bring in one window at the one time, and it's virtually unheard of that a club brings in 11 players. So I think a lot of it goes down to who's in charge higher up at Celtic. But listen, I think Ange will have a better idea of the positions he wants to fill. He'll be a wee bit more relaxed, I think, in terms of names that he wants, players that he wants, because obviously he came into Celtic late as well, so he had to hit the ground running in terms of picking out players for different leagues. I suspect that most of the players that came in the door at Celtic in the summer wasn't his first choice. I think they're probably pre-picked, but I don't believe Liam Scales is an Ange signing.
I don't think he is.
No, but
I think Desmond signing, I reckon.
But I think definitely in January he might go back to the Japanese league and kind of further afield.
Because their season be finished.
Aye, I think he'll definitely be looking more at that, and he'll be a wee bit more relaxed. And obviously it depends on where we are in the league as well. If we go 10, 12 points clear by that point, then hoping that we won't need that many in.
Jesus, guys, are you definitely on the glue again tonight? That's 12 points clear again.
No, listen. We spoke on Friday, and I says to you, the Rangers game's on first, and you says I'm no bothered with that game, and I says, well, I'd rather watch it and see, because they're on first, and I watched it. I'll tell you how they beat us at Ibrox a few weeks ago is beyond me. Mm-hmm. They are rotten.
I am the exact.
They are rotten.
Exact same. I'm in total agreement with you there as well. They have nothing in the final third of the pitch. Absolutely nothing. If they hadn't got the defenders that can score goals, they'd be in the exact same position as we were last year. We just didn't show up that day. We got a few things wrong, but to be honest, I think we will have a serious different game in January. big time. But to be honest, I'd rather kind of just concentrate on what we have in front of us first, though. Serious schedule
Exactly.
first. So. But
Right, we're going to talk about
Livingston will be
Betis.
tough enough. Livingston will be tough enough next week, I'll tell you.
We're going to talk about Betis. A few comments here are saying we should go with McCarthy, Turnbull, and McGregor. Kind of defensively style midfield on Thursday night and drop Rodgers out. Would you do that?
No.
You don't think McCarthy's a 90-minute player just yet?
He can't hold his fitness. I bring him on for the last 30 minutes of a game, maybe, unless he can prove that he can last 90 minutes. Then absolutely, but you get 90 minutes out of him, and he's gone then for another couple of weeks. It's his career. It's his career pattern. It always happens. And as much as I hate to say it about the guy, he looks like a proper genuine guy, and I don't want to speak ill about him, but you just can't take the chance with him. You really can't.
No, I can see where you're coming from in terms of, do we try and set up defensively, no to lose goals is more than score goals. Obviously, we're missing Kyogo as well, because I think if we've got Kyogo in that team on Thursday night, then it's a different mindset, because we're going for the game and we're going to win the game and score goals. But I think when you take him out of the team, we just looked at a totally different outfit on Saturday. I mean, I know it was comfortable, but let's face it, it's Ross County at Celtic Park. We should not be losing to teams like that at Celtic Park. So we did what we had to do on Saturday. I wouldn't say it was overly impressive, but we got the job done. And I wouldn't be totally against a more defensive setup on Thursday.
See, Ange doesn't go defensive, folks. You know that. He doesn't change his style of football. So there's no point of us even saying going 4-4-2 or going 4-5-1. Like, Yeti, I can't see Yeti getting a lot of ball on Thursday. I don't think we'll get that type of goal we scored against Jesus, trying to think for a second, against Alkmaar away. I don't think we'll get that type of goal, that break, because we're missing Kyogo. Yes, Yota can play on the left, Abada on the right. I just have concerns. I just don't think a Yeti is our solution for the next few weeks. I know we got the 2 goals. Look, at the second goal was a rebound off McCarthy's header. Fair enough, but I just, when the transfer window closed, I was not happy with our striking options. Was not happy with it. And I know we just have to suck it up and get on it to the next window. But we don't have enough ammunition there, Mick. If Kyogo stays out the sidelines more than 3 to 4 weeks, if Yeti gets injured, and if Georgios is not up to full fitness, we don't have a striker to put in there.
No, that's one thing we haven't actually thought about, I suppose. Obviously, losing Eddie was obviously going to be a big hole to fill. He was obviously the second choice striker there with them. Well, he was first choice before he left, I suppose. But you obviously want to see Kyogo up front. 6 games now he's going to be missing. All right, Yeti. It was a good thing that he scored the 2 goals on the weekend. Right, you have to be willing to give him the chance. That's the thing.
He does look better. He does look in better shape than he was.
But you think about it this way, right? If he was under a serious amount of pressure going into that game, starting that game for the first time he started in God knows how long, right? Knew that if he didn't score, he was going to be questioned. He's a striker. He doesn't have to have 1,001,001 touches. You think he'd about 23, 24 touches maybe in the whole game.
15 touches, Gaz said.
So, well, there you go. It wasn't far off, but his job is naturally just to put the ball in the net. Doesn't matter how many touches he has, and he did it twice the weekend. Now, obviously, they were kind of little more tap-ins more than anything, but he still did that, and that can store goals. No one writes how you put the ball in the back of the net. You just have to get them in. You can put your name on the score sheet, and you might build your confidence.
That's Jack Charlton football you're talking there.
I don't. Yeah, if it makes it yet, you start playing. I don't care.
Right. Yeah, I'm just concerned about the bench going into Thursday night. Look, Betis are going to be fast paced. La Liga teams are always fast paced, but I wouldn't write us off. I think we can get a draw there. I really do believe we can get a draw there. Guys, what do you think?
As I say, they've not won yet this season. They are obviously a quality side. They've got quality players and
quality manager.
Got players that can probably hurt us on the break. But it depends on how we set up. As you say, Ange isn't a defensive-minded guy, and I'm sure the Celtic fans would all love to see an attack-minded team in Thursday. Rather, I just don't think, looking at that squad on Saturday, I don't see the attack mindedness coming through on Thursday. Obviously, I don't think there's going to be any Georgius. Yeti, as you say, he's going to have to come close and get service rather than run onto it. There's no big man up there to knock it down for him. Forrest, I think, is still going to be out. He's not looking as if he's coming back anytime soon. Obviously, in defence, who do you play? At the back too, I just think
a bit of ultimate team there. That's what I do for ultimate team.
No, I think I'd be happy with a draw on Thursday. I'll be honest.
Mick, would you be happy with the draw? Auburn, Seville.
Okay. Celtic away in Europe, you'd always be happy enough with a draw, wouldn't you? Like, no matter who they play away.
I think it's a lot of people are still daunting what happened with Alkmaar, with the way that the own goal went in, Joe Hart not coming out, and Gaz touched on it there a few minutes ago. We don't want that Barcelona football from the back. You can't do that in Europe because you don't know, these teams are fast paced and they press. You know, there's going to be more pressure on Betis to get the win. You have a 1-4. Pellegrini's a super manager. Obviously won the Premier League with City. He knows how to get the best out of players. He was obviously manager of the Argentinian side as well, as I remember as well. It's just it's hard to say how we're going to turn up on Thursday. It really is. But my starting lineup, I'll go with
just before you do that, can you answer me ever a time, no matter who we were playing in Europa League or Champions League, especially away, they turn around and say, I think we'll get a win here. I think we'll play well. I think we're going to be all over them. Because no, you never said that in the last 20 years when it comes to Celtic.
I did. So I was thinking, remember the last time we played Rosenborg in the Europa League? I knew we were going to get a result there that night. I know Scott Sinclair's got a header.
I'm on about the style of play. We always end up sitting back in Europe. We never attack the way we should be doing in situations like we always seem to sit back no matter who we're playing.
Gaz, what do you think?
As I say, I just love to see us be able to play that style of football, but we just don't have the type of defenders that can play it. Do you know what I mean? It's just we end up putting ourselves under pressure, like the Alkmaar game, where second half, especially second half. I mean, was it Alkmaar took centre? No, we took centre and gave the ball right to them, and they nearly went through and scored. So, listen, I think we just need to. It's the way the manager wants us to play, so we're going to have to put up with it. We need better defenders in, better quality defenders in, better quality midfielders in to kind of adapt to that style of play. But I think it's heart attack material that when you're watching them, you're thinking one pass too many and we're banging trouble.
Yep.
100%. That ball goes over the top and they're expecting Joe Hart to come out and they capitalise, like you've seen in the two Alkmaar games. It's just we don't have that pace of centre back. I know that sounds to some people that sounds stupid because they should be faster, but they're built like units. Like Vickers is built like a unit. I'd put Vickers in instead of Welch. I think Welch looks like a nervous wreck in some European games. Like I thought he was outstanding against Midtjylland in a Celtic Park, outstanding, but it's just we're off the pace in Europe. And they're chasing shadows. That's what they're like.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think
even the wing backs.
But I think when it comes to the Europa League, and you go away to places, it doesn't matter who you're going to be with. It doesn't matter if you're going to somewhere like Spain or whether you're going to Ukraine or something, somewhere far flung. But I think you take care of your home games.
There's no wrong with a trip to Ukraine, Gaz. Good old Shakhtar trip.
Yeah, you take care of your home games, and then your away games are a bonus. And that's why even if we were to go attack minded on Thursday night, I think even if you get a doing you lose 1-0 or whatever, it's a sort of bonus game, chatting, and it's going to be tough.
Was it because you're experimenting, free flowing, attacking football, but we're still getting beaten?
Like it's if we go there and attack them and lose 2-0, 3-0 or whatever, but we've had chances in goal and we've had shots cleared off the line maybe, or hit the post, then the fans don't mind that because you're going to win the game, you're trying to win the game. You're not just sitting back and losing 3-0. You're not trying to defend and still losing 3-0. You're trying to win a game of football. And all right, you might still lose the game, but the fans will appreciate the fact that you've went out and you've tried to win away from home.
100%. Mick, would you have the same feeling as Gav? Just play free-flowing football and try hit 2 or 3 against them, and then if it's trouble at the back where we get caught on the counter-attack, we still don't criticise that much. At least we go out and done it on the forward side of it.
We just have to see what kind of a plan B Ange has if this happens. Like if we end up falling on the back foot and things.
Is that plan A though?
Well, we'd have to see what it was planned. We'll know kind of more or less what way he's lining up, like, and see what way he's kind of attacking. If he goes attacking or if he's going to sit back, like we can tell in the first 5-10 minutes what way he's going to do it. Like so, but if we fall behind, we have to see what way. Like against Rangers, like he didn't seem to have a kind of much of a plan B that day. He kind of like was a little bit clueless. Brought a few things down. Like obviously when he put Kyogo back in the strikers role, that changed. But like we haven't got that now going on Thursday. But new players in as well. We don't know what way they're going to perform against Betis. It's a different kind of style to Scottish football as well. Like, so we don't know what way it's going to be. If it's going to be attacking or defensive. Like, the only thing I will say about past European games, our fitness is a lot better. We might be able to keep up with them in certain areas of the park. So it'd be interesting to see. Like, remember against Alkmaar in the first 15 minutes. We were able to kind of pass around and play around them a little bit as well. But then we started kind of getting tired.
That was high-paced football. Even that goal that we scored was unbelievable.
Yeah, but they started sussing us out then and they started kind of playing us at our own game. So our fitness is there. We just don't have to throw it out all in the first 60 minutes and then get caught for the last half an hour and stand in the line again. Just kind of like preserve your energy a little bit, you know. That's what we could be looking at doing on Thursday, especially against Spanish outfit. Hotter conditions, humid weather maybe, you don't know as well. Like so you have to think about that as well.
Kill for the San Miguel, wouldn't they? San Miguel in the Speedos watching themselves in Seville. Right, I'm going to talk about the group. So we have Leverkusen and you have Werner Varos. When the draw came out, it was going to look at no team's an easy team in Europa League. It's a tough competition. It's changed around this season, folks. It's later like a Champions League format. So it's 32 teams because of the Conference League being introduced. Can we win our 3 games at home? Guys, out straight, simple as this, yes or no. The teams are playing.
Yeah. I just think when you look at Leverkusen's going to be a tougher one, obviously. I think they beat Rangers in the last 16 or last 32 last season.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, they're going to be the toughest at the two. We've already played Ferencváros in qualifying. Obviously not the same team, but in terms of, I think there's a kind of air of revenge we'll be out for to show that we are the better side. We should have won that game that night. We should have knocked them out, but we didn't, and that's it. But at the end of the day, I think at the end of the day, Ferencváros and Real Betis are definitely beatable at Celtic Park. Full house, under the lights, bitter cold. Winter's night. It'll be when.
Well, I'm hoping it's going to be lights on.
Listen, as I said, even on October at 3:30 in the afternoon, it's dark in Glasgow, so don't worry, and the lights will be on. But no, listen, I think the three of them's definitely winnable. Leverkusen's going to be the tough one, but we could just catch them on an off night. Do you know what I mean?
Leverkusen got beaten the weekend by Dortmund 4-3. Cracking game. Haaland had a storm of a match. Mick, what do you think? Do you realistically think we can get the 3 wins at home and maybe get a result over in Budapest? Or I don't think we're going to get a result in Germany, to be honest with you.
Well, as Gaz just said there, Leverkusen is going to be a tough one. So it's kind of hard to comment on that as well, especially when you see them scoring 3 goals against Dortmund the weekend. They have.
Pretty nice finishes as well.
Yeah, that's being against a team like Dortmund. If they're bagging goals against them, then they're definitely they have potential to score goals against anybody. Dortmund aren't the same team as they used to be, but even with Haaland, they're obviously still always up there. Betis, Thursday night will tell a story. see what way we're capable of scoring away from home. Ferencváros, I think the 3:30 thing on a Tuesday afternoon could be a little bit of a killer for us. I think, to be honest.
Keeps on the lash.
Hopefully I'm not bad luck for the game.
Keeps going on it for 10 o'clock in the morning.
That's it.
But Ferencváros away, I think that's a result we could easily get, to be honest. Like, well, I say easily, but just again, Celtic away, it's always that little bit of a cloud over, isn't it?
And it depends on results elsewhere as well in the group, doesn't it? Because we've seen in past seasons, certain groups can just bubble over to they're all in the same points at one point in the group. So it depends on results elsewhere.
How many points we going for, guys?
I'm going for 9.
Mick?
10.
I'm going for 8. I think we're going to lose against Leverkusen, home and away. I think we're going to get a great result over in Budapest. And I think we're going to sneak a draw on Thursday night. I just think we're going to lose to Leverkusen.
All depends on the injuries and that go as well. Like the longer the campaign now, especially with games on top of us with like League Cups and League and then Europa as well. And then you got another international break coming up in October, I think, don't we?
Bleeding international football breaks your heart. It does. It feels like it's on forever, doesn't it?
I've got my tickets booked to Qatar.
Cool. What I'd say about is, I just think we can get. I hope we get out of the group because I don't want us going into the Conference League and finishing third. No. It's just not worth our while, especially when we're going for the creme of the creme, the L League this season. We don't need that distraction.
No, definitely not.
No.
Like, look, it's a sexy trophy, but I don't want it.
And we all know the finals in Seville. Just saying.
Send our B team over. if it's conference.
No, the conference is in Armenia.
No, the Europa League. Sorry, Europa League.
Oh, Europa League, yeah. Right. Before we finish up, Alton Edwards. What a debut from! I know a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, we'll be talking about him."
Sorry, me internet's gone. Sorry.
I'm going to start with you, Mick. Did you see it?
Look, yeah, fair play to him. Like, just sick that he didn't do it with us. Like, you see, his attitude was phenomenal. There's something to be seen, like when he's scoring the goals against Rangers, and like then he's just banging goals in about 2 goals in 6 minutes. Like, I'm looking at this, I'm like, is this fella for fucking real? Seriously, it was hard. It was, sorry, excuse me, language, but it was hard to take.
The keeper could have saved the ball with him, to be honest. It was a Lloris goal, was it? Because he could have saved them.
Do you know? I was just going to say two quite poor finishes. Really, one's a deflection, and the other one he's hit it right at the keeper. But no, listen, he's absolutely ripped it up in his first game. I could not believe. Do you know? I was actually watching. Believe it or not, I was actually watching the Rangers game, and then I had to head out. So I actually missed him coming off the bench. And scoring, and then I checked it at full time. It's Edward 92 minutes. I'm like, behave yourself, seriously.
My head was all over the place. I'm there watching the game, and then I'm hearing about Ronaldo scoring, then I'm hearing about Edward scoring. I was like, what is going on?
Ronaldo scored twice against Newcastle, guys, did he?
Oh, no even surprised. The thing I was most angry about was the clamour for Ronaldo's shirt after the game. I think there was about 3 players trying to get his shirt off him, and I was like, nah, not having that.
It can't be as bad as what Liverpool and Chelsea half time. Was it Eto'o and Sacco changing shirts at half time?
Big Brendan's reaction in the conference room after that. So he swapped his shirt at half time. I hope he didn't. Hey, thanks for telling me that. And then I think another player did it as well. He goes, right, well, I'll be dealing with that in the next couple of minutes. Do you think
Bankier
will go?
For what I'm hearing, it's looking likely. It would just be another nail in the Celtic soap opera, wouldn't it? It'd just be like, what the hell is happening at our club now? Do you know what I mean? And you're never going to find out what's happening because, as I say, it's just to keep everything closed. And it's just ridiculous, honestly. It's absolutely. I mean, who's coming in as chairman now? Do you know what I mean? Like that's what you're.
No director of football.
Listen,
Just give Sam Allardyce the director of football job.
I could not give a monkeys about director of football. It was a made-up role. As I say, Dennis Wise at Newcastle was the first one to be given director of football because he was Mike Ashley's best pal. I could not give a hoot for director of footballs. In terms of chief executives and chairmen, then fair enough. They're definitely people you need. But see these club ambassadors and directors of football, chase yourself. Chatting.
What about Tom Boyd's a club ambassador?
I just don't see the point in it. I really don't. Why? I really don't.
He's right. He's right.
I don't know if he's getting a wage or if it's a voluntary role, but there's just absolutely no need for it. I could be a club ambassador for Celtic. Do you know what I mean?
Jeez, Keith, you're after getting a rant out of him before you finish up.
Oh, God. Right. Well, I think Bankier is at the main in the job for 10 years. I don't know if Desmond is shuffling up the boardroom because, to be honest with you, we don't get answers. It was a statement FC on Friday. Like, they could have called the press conference. Ian Bankier could have came out to Celtic TV and said, look, Dom has left with personal circumstances. We wish him the very best. He always hides behind it. Even with the introduction of Ange and Dom at the time, I just having him on the left-hand side, it just made me sick. I don't have confidence in the man.
Look, to be honest, Keith, we could talk about this for days upon days about the backroom staff. I just hope Ange kind of still has the same attitude. Like when he was talking about financial situation before, as he doesn't give a shit. It's not his thing to do. Just get he concentrates on the football. That's what he's doing. So hopefully, that's the situation we still have to worry about, and let the behind the scenes go behind the scenes.
That's it. Well, we're all ambassadors for Celtic Football Club. That's it. 100%. Just once you put them colours on and show a bit of passion and don't be bigoted in any way, that's the most important thing, I just hope that whoever comes in, which is this person that's been at the club for over 10 years, they're saying as well, that he gives Ange that relationship to get the players in he needs, the tools he needs, because Ange said it in his press conference. He's the man that puts the bricks down, builds the foundations, and we want to come onto something good. If it's the case that we've seen that things are coming good on the pitch with the likes of Kyogo and Abada, McGregor stepping in as a captain, getting a decent keeper in, centre back, we're still a bit, well off as we just talked about. Ralston's after coming on. Everybody dealt with Ralston. We were all part of that. But it's just getting these players back. The likes of Jamesy, as much as I cringe say this, Mikey Johnson. We need as much tilts back, and we'll hopefully get young Dembele on that pitch as well. There is a talk that we might be going for Dembele's brother from Peterborough.
I think that was a rumour in the summer, and he's been playing well for Peterborough. But listen, as I said to you before, if we can't give Karamoko a game, I don't see the point in bringing his brother in. To be honest, I just think you should be. I know Karamoko's injured obviously now, so that's why he's not in the team. But when he has been fit, he's been nowhere near that team, and we've been hearing about this boy being special for I don't know how long, and yet he can't seem to get anywhere near the team. So if you want to cut strings with him and get his brother in, then fair enough. But no, I think ideally you'd like to see both of them involved in the team in some capacity, just to see how they can play.
That's it. Well, if we're playing sexy football on the wings and 10 players are on top form, there's no point bringing in more players. And well, look, it's good for the manager, it gives them a headache, but there's no point fixing something that's not broken. Isn't that right, Mick?
That's the truth, yeah. No, that's literally just thinking the same thing as well. But again, it's nice to have that headache as well. If you have a full squad that's 100% fit and they're all performing on the training park, and you don't know who's going to do what here. So, but yeah, at the minute, obviously
Big Moose is playing on Thursday night, isn't he?
Yes. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Big Moose at Dembele versus Rangers.
The King of Glasgow.
Hopefully gets 3 goals against them again.
What is your favourite Dembele moment? One particular goal that sticks out to you. What is your favourite Dembele moment? Gaz.
Semi-final.
It's got to be the final against Rangers. Semi-final was it against Rangers?
Which one? We played 2 semi-finals against
the one Mix just said it. The back heel that kind of drags it through the.
Yeah.
I think the defender and the keeper's legs.
Gilks was it?
I think it was a double. I think it was a double meg.
Last couple of minutes. The last kick of the ball.
We absolutely pounded him. We pulverised him, and I think we actually had a perfectly good goal chopped off. I don't know if it's Fiatchenko.
He hit the crossbar and all against him
that day, and it just felt like it was never happening. And then 3 minutes to go, kind of Glasgow, right into the fans. Oh, superb!
No, mine would have to be the Bruni assist, the 3-2 game. I thought that was Dembele's best goal for Celtic against them.
That's because you just love what the commentator said. That's all you love about that goal.
What's the keeper doing, Tom? What's the keeper doing?
Never gets old.
No, I just think that moment, or even it was against Rangers where he chipped it around the middle. He just chipped the penalty. So has to be done. But I wish Moose the best. Hopefully he comes back soon to Celtic Park. You never know. He's that type of character. You probably will go up to Celtic Park when he's over.
I was just going to say I might take a trip up on Thursday and see if I can see him still coming out the club store, the club mega store.
Him and Julian just chilling, talking shit to each other. Hopefully Bollingoldie's not there. That's the main thing.
Oh, definitely.
Right. We're going to pack it up there, folks. It's almost an hour. I just want to say a massive thanks to whoever watched on all the platforms tonight and whoever's going to watch in the near future. So prediction, I'm going 1-1. What's Gaz going with Thursday night?
Thursday night, I'd probably go 2-1 Betis, to be honest. If I'm being realistic, I'd love a draw.
Jesus.
I think we will score, but I think we will get beat, to be fair. The start, fun enough, the start I was trying to tell you on Friday night. Remember we were talking about away games.
Was that before your internet? Before your prepaid power shirt?
before the lights went out. Remember I was telling you we've no won away in the league for like 8 months. It's actually it's about 8 months actually. February the 14th was the last time we won in the league away from home.
Jesus, I'm gonna get our shit together. Mick, what do you think? What score are we going for Thursday?
I'll go 2-2.
2-2?
I'll go 2-2.
Game. 2-2. Right, I'm going 1-1. I'm going with an Abada goal. I don't think a Yeti will score on Thursday night. I just don't think he has.
Don't care who scores as long as they put them in the back of the net.
The back of the net, Jack Charlton football.
I think possibly Turnbull, maybe a wee free kick or something.
A free kick, Davy Turnbull in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
Carter Vickers reflection.
Callum McGregor overhead. What?
I'll tell you what. Andros Townsend has just scored an absolute worldie against Burnley to give Everton the lead.
You're going with your Gillette soccer.
Worldie.
Always happens when we're on this. Right, folks, we'll leave it there. Thanks very much for watching. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, give it a thumbs up. If you can't, no problem. But if you see Celtic Appreciation page on Facebook, give it a like. That's Gary's page. And Mick, we'll hopefully get Mick on the near future for a bit of music. You know, if he's not too busy up in the Hunky Dory Stadium. The drugs.
Couldn't afford the stage, Keith.
There's no Burger King in Finland anyway. Or Copenhagen, wherever it was.
We'll leave that off out of this podcast, yeah.
Right. Take care, folks. See you all. Take care. Hello.